Hello everyone and welcome to the Manifested e-learning platform. It's always a pleasure to have you at Manifested. When you come to these lessons, I always remind my students, make sure you have an exercise book and a pen so that when we are explaining terms or when you are going through the syllabus, you write your own notes so that at the end of the lesson, you can make reference to the notes, you can revise your work. So in our today's lesson, we will focus our attention on the secondary Christian religious education for Form 4. This is secondary Christian religious education. In the last lesson, we discussed the objectives, the general objectives of secondary Christian religious education. We say that Christian religious education is one of the academic subjects in the secondary school curriculum. And we also noted that this subject aims at creating awareness in the learner's relationship with God as revealed in the learner's personal experience, as revealed in the African religious heritage, biblical revelation, and also the Christian community. We went further and noted that the subject provides a powerful motivation for right behavior. And we also said it inculcates in the learner spiritual, moral, and social values that help in character development. We also noted that CRE deals with the whole person. That is the spiritual person. It also deals with the issues to do with the body and also the soul. And we gave 7 general objectives of the secondary Christian religious education. Today, we want to look at the Form 4 secondary religious education. Learners, the secondary Christian religious education for Form 4 syllabus is organized in 2 main sections. That is Section 1 and Section 2. Section 1 is known as the Introduction to Christian Living. And under Introduction to Christian Living, we are going to cover the first topic, which is known as Introduction to Christian Ethics. Then Section 2 is known as the Christian View on Selected Contemporary Issues. Under that section, we cover the rest of the chapters. We have Chapter 2, Chapter 3, Chapter 4, Chapter 5, up to Chapter 10. So in Section 1, we have one chapter, which is Introduction to Christian Ethics, and that section is known as Introduction to Christian Living. In Section 2, which is known as the Christian View on Selected Contemporary Issues, we are going to cover the rest of the topics. That is topics like human sexuality, responsible sexual behavior, topics like marriage, the family. We have the Christian approaches to work, Christian approaches to leisure, Christian approaches to wealth, money and poverty. There is a Christian approach to law, order and justice, and also Christian approaches to selected issues related to modern science, technology, and the environment. So those are the chapters I've just said the subject is organized into two main sections. The first section, this is section 1, is known as Introduction to Christian Living, Introduction to, let me use my black pen. This is section 1 will cover introduction to Christian living. Introduction to Christian living. This is the first section. Section 1 has one topic or chapter, which is introduction to Christian ethics. This is chapter 1. Introduction to Christian ethics. Then under section 2, this is section 2. This is section 2. Section 2, we have the second section, section 2. Section 2 is known as Christian view on selected contemporary issues. Christian view on selected contemporary issues. Christian view on selected contemporary issues. Contemporary issues. Selected contemporary issues. That means there are many issues. There are many contemporary issues, but at this level in your syllabus, there are few that have been selected for you to study. Christian view on selected contemporary issues. And these ones we are going to study right from chapter 1. We have this is chapter 2, chapter 3, chapter 4, chapter 5, chapter 6, chapter 7, chapter 8, chapter 9, and chapter 10. In chapter 2, we are going to cover human sexuality. Human sexuality. Chapter 2, we will cover responsible sexual behavior. Responsible sexual behavior. Responsible sexual behavior will be covered in chapter 3. Then chapter 4, we will look at the issue known as marriage. Chapter 4, marriage. Chapter 5, the family from Christian perspective. Number 6 is the Christian approaches to work. Christian approaches to work. Christian approaches to work. Number 7 is the Christian approaches to leisure. Christian approaches to leisure. Number 8 is Christian approaches to wealth. Christian approaches to wealth, riches, and poverty. Wealth, riches. Wealth should be money, not riches. Wealth, money, and poverty. Wealth, money, and poverty will be covered in chapter number 8. Then chapter number 9, we are going to cover the Christian approaches to law. Approaches to law. We are going to cover in chapter 9 the Christian approaches to law, order, and justice. Law, order, and justice. Law, order, and justice. Then lastly, we will study the Christian approaches to selected issues. Christian approaches to selected issues. Christian approaches to selected issues related to number 1, science. Issues related, let me just write, related to issues related to modern science, comma, technology, and the environment. Environment. So candidates, learners, this is how the secondary CRE syllabus for Form 4 is organized. There are 2 sections. Section 1, known as Introduction to Christian Living. Under this section, we will only cover one topic, which is Introduction to Christian Ethics. Introduction to Christian Ethics. Then, in the second part of or section of this syllabus, which is the Christian view on selected the contemporary issues, we will cover the rest of the chapters from chapter 2 to chapter 10. Chapter 2 is human sexuality. Chapter 3, responsible sexual behavior. Chapter 4, marriage. Chapter 5, the family. Chapter 6, Christian approaches to work. Chapter 7, Christian approaches to leisure. Number 8, Christian approaches to wealth, money, and poverty. Chapter 9, Christian approaches to law, order, and justice. Then lastly, the Christian approaches to selected issues related to modern science, technology, and the environment. So thank you for attending this session, learners. We are going to take a short break. When we come back, we will focus our attention on section 1, which is Introduction to Christian Living, and in section 1, under the first chapter, we will introduce Christian ethics. So come back in our next lesson where we are going to introduce Christian ethics. Bye-bye.